Let's have some fun tonight. We're going to continue the save game I left the last time, and let's see where humanity will go and the other races we designed. Okay, we still have that sound off when we tab out. I've heard that a couple of sound glitches have been fixed since the last time I was here, so looking forward to see some of that. Oh, I didn't take into account how long this game takes to boot up. Is it still alive? It doesn't look well. Ah, it's still alive. Okay, next stream I will load that game before I go online. I keep forgetting that it's somehow restarting the whole world generation process whenever you load the save file, but that's okay. It's early access for a reason. Okay. Human cyber colony. So, the car evacuation vessel. Oh yeah, they stripped your planet clean. I remember. They were on the way to Alpha Andromedae. I wonder what the car Arc ship will do when it comes back home and notices that there is no home to come back to. Okay. So, during the centuries-long journey of the car evacuation vessel, the onboard computer is able to collect a vast amount of data about the galaxy. Well, it makes sense. After careful analysis, the rocket scientists make some outstanding observations. That sounds like a positive event for those poor fools for once. So, more technology. Well, we're going to go into a dead end here. I'm sorry, guys, that you have to play it out like that, but we need the synthesis. Okay. Now, I want to increase the volume to something like that. Well, okay. So now where do we go? Furry Fish Empire? No. Let's guide the humans. They're already at the solar age, so let's grant them new asteroid fields. Resource crisis on the car evacuation vessel. I think I need to do something. Sorry guys, the sound things are bothering me a tad bit. So here we go. The car have done the unthinkable and used up all available resource storage on the car evacuation vessel. It is no longer possible to provide for the living quarters of their ship. The calculated crew will soon fall apart. Okay. So, these guys, they just are so friggin' unlucky. So, collapse, regress, complete extinction. So, chaos and panic lead to the complete disintegration of the car. Will they take their atomic launchers and destroy each other, or find a more encouraging way to deal with the demise of their ship? So, they're kind of like a dystopian bunch, so I don't know. To survive, the car have to abandon their living quarters and form small, self-contained communities. The loss of central leadership within the calculated crew may lead to oppression and cruelty. Well, let's see what'll happen. Lost development of the car. The car calculator crew regresses because they have no access to resource storage anymore. Relevant technology is lost. The rocket scientists are forgotten, and the car regress to traditional ways of life in order to survive in their decaying ship. Artifacts from the glorious past cannot be replicated anymore and in high demand. Okay. I see. So they lose tons of technology here. Although their knowledge of the past is lost, the calculator crew manages to organize life aboard the evacuation vessel efficiently. Their technological artifacts are preserved. Okay. Regress back into the industrial age. Regress back into the nautical age. In a spaceship? Are you guys serious? Well, let's take them back into the industrial age. That sounds cruel enough for me. And I think that's what I want to have. Okay. Wow, these poor guys. Let's see what happens when they hit the next world. Back to good old humanity, utopia, and stuff. Okay. We are progressing here, but our resources are dwindling as well. Wow, progress goes so slow when they are at tech level, at a higher tech level there. Power and regale, okay. The Ash are using unmanned aerial vehicles for military operations. These drones are remote controlled over vast distances and used in missions deemed too dangerous or too tedious for living. Okay, they invented drones. Good stuff. Prevention. The remote operators show disturbing psychological behavior because they are so detached from their Ash victims. Well. They are quite a utopian society, so we're going to prevent that. Since I can't do that this cheaply. Let's get back to good old humanity. No, not more population growth. If anything, I would like to reduce the population growth of these. Yeah, here we go. This will make their resources last a little bit longer. Wow, this takes really long now. Resources. Wonderful. So what happened to the cyber colony? They are at cyber tech. So they are now the Wild West, basically. And the interstellar signals are hitting each other soon. I wonder what that will bring, if this will bring a event or something like that. The car arc ship. Car growth, that's not really good. The crew is experimenting with growing plants from Gliese in the zero-gravity areas of the arc ship. If successful, they will be able to feed a much larger population. Okay, I take back everything. Wait a sec. If they grow, they don't grow more resources, so we're going to... You guys are going to abandon that idea. Got me. I don't want to do this, because if they go for population growth, they will eventually die because of that. will be cool. Okay. I wonder what will happen when I hit the last age. Do we win the game then? Or what's going to happen? Really wonder. Okay. Oh, the cyber colony is in a new technological age now. They are now the solar age over there too. Good stuff, guys. So, in this iteration of our story, humanity is really making the break, is really cutting it. So, wisdom, power, or advancement. The work of the first generations of colonists inspire the humans to explore new areas, preserve the resources of their interstellar branch, advance in their infrastructure, or build starships. The humans see themselves now as superior to their ancestors from Earth and create new tools to defend themselves, harm each other, or attack other species. The humans identify themselves with a new technology that can widen their thinking, improve their societies, or send signals to space. Huh. Well, they are quite the utopian society, so we go for wisdom. I think I'm going to go for a much wilder universe if I want to play this game a second time, but for now, I just want to have a working thing. Human off-world factions, they are suffering from a resource crisis. That's coming quickly. I skilled you guys on wisdom. Asteroid fields are becoming scarce in the Frogstar system. The effects of corporate consumption brought the human civilization to a breaking point. While they are dealing with the resource scarcity, will the off-world factions find ways to prevent the complete exhaustion of their environment, or will they turn against each other? So, well, we just came there. Come on, guys. Well, okay. We are quite hungry. Precaution. The human off-world factions prepare for a future without asteroid ore. Will their leaders preserve the environment of Frogstars or deny their people access to it? Okay. War. The humans pick up their energy rifles and fight over access to the remaining asteroid fields. Interplanetary warships destroy entire colonial colonies in the so-called asteroid war wars. Or we can go into a crisis. Scarcity causes discord and competition among the humans. Knowledge diminishes while the off-world factions of Frogstar compete for the dwindling resources. So, since these guys were more of a corporate offspring, we're going to go for the dive into the crisis and see what happens. Hostility in Frogstar. With asteroid ore becoming rare, the human off-world factions are preparing for the worst and protecting the vanishing resources. Robotic infantry are deployed next to vital planetary mining stations. And the inhabitants of Frogstar are too busy preparing for a conflict to tackle the root of the scarcity crisis. Oh yeah, that's so human. So what happens to them now? Strong hostility. Interplanetary warships protect the few remaining asteroid fields at all costs. While off-world factions prepare for conflict, fusion scientists turn into robotic infantry, abandoning knowledge in exchange for energy rifles. Regular hostility. Okay, it's the smallest scale event of this one. Total war. The asteroid ore crisis escalates in no time. Robotic infantry fight aggressively over access to planetary mining stations, and interplanetary warships destroy entire colonial... I still think that colonial colonies is a very weird
There's a mushroom out
thing
there with your name on it.
Okay, definitely
Just wanted
not
to say
Joe.
thanks for creating such an awesome community and bringing us all together.
Thank you, man. You're crazy. Definitely not Joe is the man. So, total war or hostility? Thank you for that donation. That's so kind of you. Regular hostility or total war? We're going to go for a regular hostility. Or, well... yeah. I can't do that to my brochachos. Yeah, Joe, you know, definitely not Joe is actually a hero. And, yeah, what can I say? That community came together because of not only me, there were other people involved too. Okay. That was a brutal cut there over at Humanity 2. Development event. Oh god. A great war threatens Sol. Development. Yeah. Planetary colony in the Sol system is defecting from the dominant faction of the humans, who founded the settlement centuries ago. Fearing the loss of precious resources and investment capital, interplanetary expeditionary forces are sent to quash the rebellion. Okay. So... planetary colony revolt, furious space battles, and a brutal ground invasion crushed the rebellion, killing many human colonists and destroying vital architecture and life support systems. How unpleasant. Peace. After a long blockade of the colony and years of peace negotiations, the Scholar Dominion grants the planet independence without the loss of any human lives. I would love that, but my synthesis points are running out. The rebels preemptively assault the cities and space stations of their oppressors using hacked satellites. Those orbital attacks cost the lives of countless humans and set the stage for a never-ending interplanetary war. We take the regular conflict. Jeez. Poor humanity. Okay. So we're at least restocking our resources here quite heavily. Okay, fusion engineers manipulate, well, whatever that was. Okay, more utopia, please. Oh dear, what happens now? Oh, the Maru domains. Consumption in Tau Ceti. Oh gosh, that sounds not too good. Due to sophisticated traps and bows, the hunting of wild animals becomes much easier. Being a hunter turns into a lucrative profession, and the guild system is formed in the big cities of Tau Ceti 3. Ah, good old medieval societies and their small-scale problems. Okay, Iron Age, not even medieval, but you know what I mean. So, hunting guilds turn into a breeding ground for assassins and mercenaries. They quickly become outlawed. Hunting rights are reserved only for the sovereigns of the Maru. They employ the expertise of the hunting guilds to decimate the wildlife around their palaces. The hunting guilds rise to power in a Maru society, and the hunters become reputable sovereigns, even after eradicating most wildlife around the cities. Their resources are already pretty bad, so we're going to prevent regular development. Probably I'll have to help the Maru a little bit here. They're going extinct soon if I don't do anything here. Poor things. Galactic gardening at its best. Really like the chill pace of this game. Lower population growth, yeah, that makes it that makes them go grow hungry slower. So, oh, the car evacuation vessel has arrived at the Alpha Andromedae system. Cool. The relay computer of the car evacuation vessel is initiating an automatic landing protocol to bring the calculator crew safely down to Alpha Rats. The rocket scientists and engineers on board are monitoring the process with anticipation. So, well, these guys are at industrial age at this point. Perfect success. Troubled development. Total failure. No, I don't want to extinct the car. I have friendly feelings to them. Was it a calculation error of the relay computer, or did one of the chemical rocket engines fail? The car evacuation vessel crashed into the surface of Alpha-Rats and most of the onboard equipment is lost. A critical accident during the landing protocol leads to a meltdown of the chemical rocket engines. The car evacuation vessel and the entire calculator crew disintegrates on impact. Oh man, no, only needs such little things. Hey Sir Liane, welcome. And thank you for the subscription. 5 months. Nice. Happy to see that. No, we're going to... I can't afford the perfect success as much as I would want that, but I'll leave that for real crisis. I don't have too many synthesis points here. You guys are just too awesome. So, welcome on a new world here. So I have no clue where the car ARC ship will head to, but possibly they should go to the car colonial base, but we'll see. Let's see if we can save the Maru. Because I have the feeling as if they need my help a little bit. Or I'll let them go extinct to catch some synthesis points. Okay. Paradigm shift in Alpha Andromedae. That's quick. The Alpha Andromedae colonists are forming a new belief system. The long journey towards their new home and the transformative first years of the colony inspire the car to adopt a new faith. I love religions. Cultural expansion. A deep adoration of the calculated crew of the evacuation vessel forms into a new religion. The colonists establish computer churches all over Alpha-Rats, worshipping the captain and the long journey that brought the car here. Cultural ascent. A community calling themselves the Andros merge scientific and philosophical ideas with a deep admiration and love for the new planet and its inhabitants. The colonists of the Alpha Andromedae system follow this faith into a new era. Cultural descent. A cult is mystifying the society of Gleesus C, and people start worshipping glorified effigies of their ancestors. The radical followers of Nissarians infiltrate the colonial soldiers and factions of the colony. Traditionalists. Good for nothing. So we're going to go for the colonial ascent here because I want to give these poor guys something to work with, you know. Here they go. Oh, a technology flare. Can't say no to technology flares. Okay. Now back to the poor Maru and their dystopian society. Powerful new night regiment is formed in Tau Ceti. That sounds like more war casualties. I really would like it if the game would give me a readout what the mystery flare did. Like if I click on one of those question marks, that if I would like to get a readout on what that thing actually was, because the texts don't really show it to me every time. The Ash governments. Back to the furry fish domain. Oh, signals to space. There we go. Regular signal boost. This is really cheap here. Due to the excessive levels of optimism intrinsic to the zeitgeist, signals are frequently sent in the direction of other star systems, which are deemed most likely to harbor intelligent life forms. Yes, please. Go forward. Let's see what'll happen there. Yeah, I'm pretty convinced that this game will be really awesome once the devs chuck in more and more events. I already have the feeling as if the Maru grow to fear their ruthless sovereign. Okay, that was definitely a dystopian node. This game will be totally cool with more and more events. Frogstar is out of resources. Oh dear. The humans have used up all available asteroid fields. Well. They are no longer able to provide for their colonial colonies, and their off-world factions will soon fall apart. The overuse of planetary mining stations has destabilized the environment to the point where the human society may not survive this devastating crisis. Whoops. 0 asteroid fields. Complete extinction. These are the final days of the humans. The collapse of their civilization is accelerated by the use of plasma detonators deployed by the off-world factions in their fight over the last remaining asteroid fields. Chaos and panic lead to the complete disintegration of the human off-world factions. Will the humans take their energy rifles? Yeah, well, okay, we already had that one. Well, we're going to collapse, I guess. What can we do? They build spaceships and go somewhere else. Hi, Hyorin! Welcome, man. So, yeah. Complete evacuation, minimal evacuation, extinction. The humans ran out of asteroid fields long ago, so they do not have the resources to create any interstellar vessel in a short time span. Meanwhile, plasma detonators are activated by panicked leaders. They really love their plasma detonators, don't they? So, here they head towards Wormwood, while leaving the rest of their people to die. The humans manage the unthinkable. They use the materials from their fallen colonial colonies to create an evacuation fleet capable of housing the entire human population of the Frogstar system. No, they go for the minimal evacuation. Tragedies. Billions of people died there. My god. Poor guys. So let's take care that this doesn't happen to the other civilizations too. Resource scarcity in 6 years. Let's take care that this doesn't happen to others. Is this going to be... Wait a sec, Okay, they do have a resource crisis now. Yeah. Fossil fuel. So that's something I really need to manage better in the future, I guess. So, precaution doesn't cost them anything here. They prepare for a future without oil. Okay, let's do this. To deal with the scarcity of oil, the Ash government started denying many of the people access to essential resources. The presidents of Regal would rather let their own kind perish than address the effects of city-state expansion. I'm playing a lot of Seralim. Ah, yeah, I did today my first False God, and I gotta say, the guilds unlock a really cool new layer. I'm going to feature that soon too. I haven't been playing with the Gate of the Gods too much though, so looking forward to get there as well. So the scarcity crisis hits the Ash hard. Their presidents lead them down a dark path, ensuring that more resources will be available for less people, thereby valuing fossil fuel reservoirs over lives. Well, that's what we're going to do. And we need to... Ah, yeah, well, they're going to go into the next age quite soon. 313? Well, you need to hit 415. You're gonna be there soon. So... New technological age for the Ash. Yeah, Guild Unlock was taking me quite some time too. Longer than I liked it. So, the Cyber Age for the Ash. Hooray! So, crossing into the realm of AI, Ash now have the ability to vastly improve their societies and facilitate communications with faraway beings. Okay. I would love to take the engineering advance, because that would address the resource scarcity, but I don't want to get their population growth higher. That's certainly not a good idea here. So humanity is doing quite well. I don't need to help them. Maru, well, let's lower their population growth a little bit more. Can you do a stream where you challenge some gods? Oh yeah, I will do that, definitely. I will do that. Spacecraft destruction. The shielding of the fusion reactor on the human evacuation vessel develops a tiny undetected fissure. Any expansion of the breach could trigger a chain reaction and possibly destroy the entire spacecraft. So, minimal survivors. A shrewd robotic technician becomes aware of the expanding fissure and can slow the breach while at least a couple of humans enter an emergency bay far away from the danger. So, well, these guys are friggin' unlucky, gotta say. And they need some growth boosts now. They are massively on a decline right now. Wow. I feel bad for these guys. So, real problem with this game is that you really seem to need to let your people go extinct at some point. But it's really hard to do that. Yeah, well, I want to deal with the disasters of one particular world, but so many worlds are starting to run out of resources at this point, or people. This is really car depopulation. The water circulation on the Ark ship is inefficient and the water supply has been declining for years. Cryo chambers and the crew are dependent on the ship's supply. So, regular development would be very costly, and prevention is a zero-cost event. That doesn't make sense. Massive depopulation. No. Well, if I can prevent that. That's weird. As if the game was asking me to kill them off if I want to. So let's see if we can do something for the Ash. Before they run into a terrible resource crisis there. Okay. At least they had 1+ event. Seems like population growths in these numbers are really bad. Oh dear. They won't be well off. Rigel is receiving alien signals. Ooh! Cybernetic sensor implants connected via brain interfaces now that the Ash pick up radio signals are all around them. Strange side effect is that they are able to listen to the human jazz music of the human civilization. So, enthusiasm, ignorance, hostility. The human jazz is projected directly into the brains of the input users, and its strange content leads to a wave of psychotic breakdowns among the Ash. They don't like jazz. The Ash are very excited by the human jazz music, and the entire population implants themselves with cybernetic sensor devices to listen to this message from the humans. Firmware.
You're welcome.
Thanks for the follow, packet. Yeah, packet Feynode. A firmware update filters out the signal after the first users complain about it. This message is lost afterward. Well, I can't let that, well, okay. The furry fish will just ignore. That's just what they do. Alright. The human scholar dominions. Oh, not again, the Great War. No. You guys were supposed to be my future. Underprivileged inhabitants of Sol's asteroid belt are suspected of exploiting asteroid fields for unauthorized imports and exports. Earth sends out military ships to resolve the smuggling problem once and for all. Okay. We can have peace quite cheap. Let's do this. Military personnel scout only a few potential threats, sparing operations with ties to human scholar dominions and apparently accepting bribes along the way. As political support for the campaign dwindles, troops are quickly withdrawn from the region. Yeah, okay. Extra resources! Ah, nice to hear that, Packet. Well, doing what I can to make the amazing Confusion Simulator easier accessible. Can't wait for that new game to be translated. I forget what's it called, but there's a lot of hype around that. I'm going to play that as well. Pretty sure you know what game I mean, but I keep missing the name. Age of Immortals or something like that, I think it was. So these dudes are back in the nuclear age. Back. The car. So the Andros could achieve the dream of space travel in this age. With superhighways now connecting most cities, it might also be a good time to start thinking about reducing fossil fuel consumption. Yeah, let's do that. So they have resources for millennia. That's good. Can't say the same about the Esh. They are way too hungry with their resource consumption. But I don't get any flares to reduce the the population growth there. The Maru are now at the nautical age. Okay. So, power. The Maru craft new weapons to conquer, plunder, and wage war on each other. They are quite the dystopian world, and I want to keep that flair. They look like they do war. Aw, thanks, Jorgen. That's really nice. Yeah, the Ash will be in a resource crisis soon, and happy to see the Fermi Paradox itself here in the chat. I do what I can. I'm trying to help them, but here, population reduce. That's what we need. Maybe we get some. Yeah, okay. Resource crisis. Poor furry fish. That's the third resource crisis they have. Deep ore deposits are becoming scarce in the Rigel system. The effects of city-state expansion brought the Ash civilization to a breaking point. While they are dealing with the resource scarcity, will the multitudes find ways to prevent the complete exhaustion of the environment? Well, it's not the first time. Well, I'm gardening. Thanks for asking. So, scarcity causes discord and competition among the Ash. Well. Precaution. They are quite the utopian bunch, so still feel obligated to help them a little bit. To counter the scarcity of deep ore deposits in Rigel, the eco-engineers of the Ash are taking control of their multitudes. Will they be able to create societies better equipped to deal with city-state expansion? Well, it makes me really happy to see that you guys are hanging around, and my muttering about the mystery flares that they need some readout is going to be heard one way or another. So that's really good. We're going to take the regular development. One multitude finds new ways to preserve the environment of Rigel without bringing harm to the Ash. Oh, I would love to take the civilization pillar, but they already did cost me synthesis already, so. Well, they did make a good step there. Let's check back what our pet human project here does. Okay. How are the Undro? I think the Undro are going to be, or well, the car, formerly known as the Andro, formerly known as car, are pretty well off now. Still the Maru and the Ash in need of help here. Well, let's diminish their growth a little bit more. Mystery nodes. Oh, I hit a minus resource thing. Oh, the human evacuation. Human injustice. Oh man, these guys, they never happened something good on this ship. A clique of cruel fleet managers brought themselves into positions of power on the human evacuation vessel and used their authority to torment the weakest of the personnel. Nobody gets killed, but daily life aboard the spacecraft will become horrible if this is allowed to continue. I really love the creative writing on these events. This is something special about this game. Not gonna lie, this is possibly one of the strongest sides of this game so far. Massive injustice. The scholar officer joins the ranks of the torturers, and from now on, their cruel games are no longer hidden. This becomes part of daily life aboard the human evacuation vessel. I mean, they are diminishing. They are dying. The fleet managers can't risk being open about cruel games they plan with the personnel, but they manage to implement many hidden methods to torture and manipulate the unlucky ones aboard the human evacuation vessel. Or we go for prevention. Well, we're going to prevent that. It's tempting to go for a really dark path there, but these guys are already they are nudged towards utopia. I wouldn't find that plausible to go down the road with torture and all that jazz. So let's reduce population growth here a little bit too. The Ash are already on a stable growth here. Wormwood, guys, don't eat this planet up like you did the last one.
This is very personal.
So thank you so much for that subscription packet. You guys are awesome. So, do we want to give them a perfect success, or... Alright, the humans do not find any valuable materials and try many more mining sites until they are barely able to support the colony. The colonists dig too deep and disturb a nest of hostile underground organisms. No one survives their wrath. Sick. Well, considering that we have here a pretty decent resource storage, I'm going to try it like that. Okay. Transformed into a scarcity in 800 years, but 800 years, that's an okay time window to progress with. Killer worms from below. That was scary. Okay, why did you disappear? Well, potential war casualties, let's down that a little bit. No, I don't want to reduce the dystopia rating here. These guys look dystopic to me. I don't want to force it manually, but these guys are bound for the next resource crisis. Can already see towards that. So maybe we get lucky and roll a new resource event before that happens. Human mining base, enlightenment in Wormwood. The human ranch is full of hope and passion for building a better world. The engineers among our colonists argue for decades over how to shape this new world into a paradise for every human. Now that's finally something wholesome for these poor guys. So pioneer spirit of the colonists inspires the social engineers of the humans to lay down a new way to build a just future. I like that idea. I mean, there's only 15 millions of a population of 7 billions left from these guys. It's okay to be idealistic at this point, I guess. So, heavy utopian society incoming. I want to put up a little bit of a society growth here as well. Just a tiny bit. There we go. Oh, extra resource. Not gonna say no to that. The war casualties here are looking a little bit sick, though. Maybe we want to reduce that a tad bit. These guys are going to annihilate themselves if they ever run into a warlike scenario. This is troublesome. I love how this game creates scenarios totally automatically. This is really awesome. There's stories happening without me doing anything, and I really like that. So the Ark ship is going to the next world. That was one question I had the last time. And the human mining base is over there. Well, these guys are pretty close to the next technological age, so let's pet them a little bit. Oh! Human jazz over here as well? Really glad you like our star generator. I do. I mean, I do play a ton of RimWorld, and I love games like Stellaris, and I generally love every game that has a story, that tries to tell a story, and I see a good future with the Fermi Paradox. Primitive radio operators pick up the human jazz music. I personally hate jazz. Well, hate is too much, but I never have fun listening to it. Amateur radio listener. The story of the radio operator gets published from lurid media outlets in mass panic by the Alpharans population. War of the Worlds. The radio operator can convince the top scientists of Alpharats to investigate the human jazz music. The science community verify the authenticity and begin researching the human civilization. Ignorance. Nobody believes the amateur radio operator and human jazz music. I'll take that. This is wonderful. It's a hoax. It's all the hoax. Are we part of a computer simulation? Actually, science can't really tell. That's a big thing. Science can't really approve or disapprove the theory if we are in a computer simulation or not. This is sometimes a spooky thought to me. The relay computers of the car Ark ship have very limited computing power. To cope with this over the centuries, the crew have trained their offspring to mentally calculate complex mathematics. Sick. This sounds like a positive thing. It's my first time having devs in my chat. There's always some first time for something. I feel honored and very happy to have this chat. Not every car is cut out to become a mental calculator. Only those that excel at it get promoted to officer positions. The entire crew was part of a simple computer network of the car ARC ship. While working on their maintenance duties, they processed calculations assigned to them from the board relay computer. I'll go for a regular development here. Don't want to invest too hard in my... Hey Calistano, welcome. Nice to see you. Hope you're having a good time. So, well, maybe we don't touch humanity today. They seem to be in a bad flare mood. That's something I really think that could be changed too. That I feel like it's cheesy that I can't hop from flare to flare until I have one that's fitting to my liking. I would really like it if it would lock me more into the choice of where I go and the moment that I go there. That would be really a change that I would appreciate, because right now I feel like there's not enough pressure in my game decisions. That's okay. I love it for the story, so it's completely okay. So the furry fish have hit the solar age. I didn't think they had it in themselves. I really thought they would die out due to resource scarcity, but turns out they are in a quite good path. Techniques are developed to allow terraforming and colony construction in even the harshest environments of the Regal system. I'll take that. So here we go. I don't like their population growth ratio right now, but oh, you're still suffering from allergies? Well, I have the next cold from my son out of the kindergarten right now. I think it's number 700 or something, I don't know. But beyond that, I'm feeling quite great. I had a bit of a low the last 2 days, but it's just because of the cold being a little bit of an issue there. So we're going to hit the technology level 9 now. I've never seen that before. So which age is that going to be? The light speed age. Oh, this is awe-inspiring. Racing into the light speed age, interstellar journeys are shortened from centuries to mere decades. Human civilization sets new speed records in areas such as quantum state computing, light jet manufacturing, and mining for resources from faraway planets. Okay. Wisdom. With the ability to conduct outer space archaeology expeditions, humans begin to understand their role in the galactic dance of existence. Questions about alien life give rise to the study of xenogenetics. Humans achieve true mastery of space travel, and colonial development crosses major hurdles. Civilization also makes leaps in genetic modification and cloning, perhaps even creating new life forms such as trash-eating plants. When exploration and travel bring them in closer contact with alien species, the humans accelerate their arms race to light speed. Also a possibility. Hey, Pop, welcome. Nice to see you, mate. We're going to strive into this age with advancement. I think humanity is still more at this point than at the wisdom point. Also, I like the resource buff there, giving me a good feeling that they have a chance to make it to the end of the development ladder there. So, I think the Esh are pretty stable now too, to some degree. At least more stable than the Maru people, which look like they stumble into the next dystopia resource shortage. Sometimes this doesn't update properly. This bothers me a little bit. I hope this gets fixed at some point too. Wow, so many dystopia notes. I love that. Okay, Maru reaches. Reduction in Tau Ceti. A telegraphic network spanning the entirety of Tau Ceti 3 is invented. This eases communication and makes it less necessary for the Maru to travel. Is that something good or is it something bad, I wonder? Civilization pillar. Due to the nifty telegraphic network, the Maru stop traveling altogether and stay in their cult. That's also a way of dropping the resource scarcity to a point. Okay, wonderful. Boom. This didn't solve the problem entirely, but it really helped them a lot there. The Maru are known to be real homebodies. They tend to avoid traveling as they find it cumbersome and unnecessary, and believe they have everything they need close by. Their impassive life has had a positive effect on the natural environment of Tau Ceti 3, but has also resulted in ignorance towards other capitals. So basically I created lizard space hobbits. Well, okay. Well, okay, they're still at nautical age, so maybe more hobbits. Car arc ship. The crew, is it also, oh, the jazz. Jazz is now hitting every civilization in space. The crew of the car arc ship are suspended in cryo-sleep while the automated systems of the ship pick up the human jazz music from the human civilization. The simple computers try to determine whether this message is relevant enough to wake the crew. What have I done when I sent out the jazz? I like that. The simple computer system fills its memory with all observable data and gently wakes the scientific staff of the car arc ship. They are excited to be able to use the long years of their journey to investigate the human jazz music. I'm going to pick this up because I really like the connection between these two. Here, these guys, the other wing of the car society, didn't believe that guy who listened to the jazz the first time. And now, when these dudes will finally make it to their new home, they will tell them that the jazz was out there too. I like that. Little stories. Making my creative brain go really happy. Okay. Well, what happened to the other humans over here? Well, they're feeling quite well, but they get a free resource node here. Boom. Juicy. Well, they only progress half a person per turn now, or no? So, oh, what do we have here? The optical computers of a regular human colonial laboratory are picking up weak traces of a radio test signal from the Gliese system. Gliese is already dead. Colonial scientists start to analyze the data from many light years away. Will they figure out that this is a message from the car? Well, the car are not even at Gliese anymore. Enthusiasm. The colonial scientists are celebrated by the human mining base for their discovery. A scientific era begins. I like that idea. They might be not at the light speed age yet, but they discovered aliens earlier than their light speed age friends. So I'm going to push towards the next tech level here because I'm friggin' curious, that's the word I was looking for, about what's going to happen to humanity once they hit that next level. If it's the end of the game or what's going to happen. Don't spoiler me, please. The Andro spiritual states. Depopulation. Birth control is now available on Alpharats. Easy access to effective contraception and the ability to plan childbirth raises the quality of life for andros and reduces birth rates. Finally, there's some good news over the... well, okay, kind of good news. Prevent that. I would need... no. Governments of the andros employ strict preventative birth control. So you guys are not really a fast-growing society, so stop that. No, we made birth control methods illegal now. Okay, maybe that was a little bit too drastic, but... We basically invented the Catholic Church over there. Or, well, some similar effect. Memes are full of fake news are widely spread among the humans. So, let's kindle that utopian spirit here a bit. Alright. I really wonder if the idea of a Matryoshka brain is implemented in the game already. Rigel is building spaceships. Many Ash live in tiny airless solar colonies or perpetually overcrowded space stations. With no future for their offspring on Rigel 7, ambitious Ash begin secretly refitting discarded ships for a journey to the Sirius system. It's not yet there, but it's on your list. Awesome. I feel like the Matryoshka brain theory is one that really I feel that's really one of the most crazy things that I've ever heard, but it's also a very interesting concept. With great effort, impoverished Ash can convert a transport vessel into a fully functional colony ship. Epic project. The colony ship project inspires the destitute Ash who mobilize to build an interstellar fleet. We go for a dead end. You guys, not far into its journey, the colony ship stalls in the Oort cloud of the Rigel system. No. Poor guys, but I wanted to save a few synthesis points here. Okay, demilitarization. That sounds good. Let's do more of that. Hey, Cerno, welcome. Nice to see you, man. No evening is complete without your cryptic messages at the beginning of your stay. I will start to miss that if you're skipping out on my streams one day. I'm feeling great today. Just a little bit of cold, but that's permanent status here. I guess that'll be over once my kid is finally a little bit larger. But extinction and soul, not cool. Murderous human mass scientists engineered a viral contagion that is slowly infecting the whole population of Sol. Since it's symptomless, infected humans do not detect its presence. The virus is constructed to transmorph on a specific day, killing its host immediately. Oh, yeah, but that's plausible. Minimal survivors. Few spaceships and desolate habitats are isolated from the ultra-contagious disease that kills off most of the humans. When the Doomsday virus is triggered, no humans are spared a tragically toxic death. Not even the insane mass scientist who planned it all. This guy played too much Plague Inc. Virologists find the hidden pathogen and distribute downloadable inoculations on the molecular network to prevent any harm from the pre-program. We do that, okay? This is just too much. After a haunting encounter with a deadly morbidity virus that lurked inside them undetected, the humans developed a paranoid phobia of synthetic diseases. They could only feel safe by scanning their bodies daily with complex and costly diagnostic equipment. I wonder why. Oh, these poor guys. So another thing that I would wish for would be that we would be able to see the complete history of our civilizations. I feel like that's sad that we only see the few recent events. That would be really cool. That could be changed too. I mean, the data should be preservable. So just something from my side. I like to look at timelines in a larger and longer scale. So, wow, that was spooky. That was super spooky. That was the reason why I save up synthesis points. Jeez. Oh, but we get scientific progress like crazy. Because I really love those little messages here that depict the previous history of a civilization. This is so awesome to see what happened and what formed them. Maru reaches growth in Tau Ceti. So the homebodies. Maru scholars have discovered a direct correlation between cleanliness and the spread of disease. Oh, really? This leads to innovations in sanitation, including bathhouses, sewer systems, and hygienic conditions in hospitals and food productions. This is really, really good. You guys keep doing that. Oh, well, regular development, please. Or, you know what? Hygiene movement. The Maru don't fully grasp the methodology of hygiene and only clean themselves superficially, seeing no effect being abandoned in practice. Let's do this. I need synthesis points, and I don't want them to grow faster. The resources are scarce. They're stinky dystopian homebodies. What have I done? That's so revolutionary. I love those little things about this game. Okay. I might be forcing the next age here a little bit too much, but I really want to see what it does. I already know that it's called the Singularity Age, but I don't know what that actually means. I only have ideas. My god, one science flare after another. So lucky. So, the car Archship, what do they do here? Car power. Armed astronauts of the Archship work out how to parachute directly from orbit onto the surface of an atmospheric planet. With these modifications, they could orbital drop onto an enemy from any location. Yeah, good for you. You guys are... You're going to train that, okay. Or you know what? Paratroopers become the dominant faction on the Archship, and soon every member of the crew is trained in orbital airdrops. Let's do this. The entire crew was thoroughly trained in orbital airdrops and were capable of parachuting onto an atmospheric planet. I mean, they are only 8,600 people. So, you know, it's not even that unrealistic to assume that they all went down that road eventually. I wouldn't say it's that unlikely. Oh, they come back home. Car Archship made contact with the Andro spiritual states. So, interestingly enough, they consider themselves now as different species. The Car Archship observes the Andro spiritual states from a safe distance, determining if the Andros are a threat. After a first contact, both sides are hostile towards each other, and the Car Archship decides to attack the Alpha Andromedae system with full force. Let's change the car, land on Alpha routes, and try to directly communicate. Let's do this. I mean, they are, after all, relatives. Oh. The Andros react aggressively. Okay. Whoops. Total onslaught. The Andros try to defeat the car with everything they have to prevent their own extinction. Both the car and the Car Archship are exterminated. After a long war of the technologically superior side with the strongest military force, wins, retreat. Okay. We're going to go for the total onslaught. This is madness. We have to stop that. Oh, wait a sec. I didn't notice that I destroyed both of them. Well, such tragedies. Event for contact of ships of same species. Yeah, I figured that this was a little bit off here, but whoops. I think I just annihilated my first species for good. No problem, Pop. You have a good time. Thanks for stopping by, mate. Appreciate it. Feeling a little bit bad for the car now. I didn't know that I would destroy both of them. I didn't read closely enough there. But whatever. Stuff like that happens. Civilizations come and go. I mean, I saw a study, or I was catching up with a study lately that figured that most likely tons of civilizations have, or could already have been existed and gone extinct in the center of the Milky Way cluster billions of years ago. Because a couple of billions of years ago, at the center of the Milky Way cluster, the conditions for life were pretty good. This is really kind of sad to assume that probably a galactic spacefaring civilization, or several of them, were already there and long gone before we even decided to crawl out of our ocean. So they hit the light speed system too, at light speed age 2. I'm going to give them the wisdom branch here, because they are heavily utopian, idealistic people here. So let's follow the soul system. How pathetic this is. But I like that. Consumption and regale. Oh no. Low tax rates and loose regulations on an asteroid near Rigel 7 spawn an off-planet tax haven. In these times, as word spreads about this profitable opportunity, wealthy individuals and businesses rush in to set up their investments, and the asteroid belt is filled with S-ships. A secretive financial service industry develops alongside increased fuel consumption and pollution. Wonderful. They have human problems. We prevent that. We prevent that. They shall not suffer the same as humanity did. Good night, Cerno. See you soon, mate. Sleep well. Thanks for dropping by. So we're hitting the next level quite soon. I'm quite angsty because my synthesis points are that low, but I'm pretty sure everything will be fine. So, let's see what happens once we hit the next age. Woo! Singularity age. Humans create machines capable of recursive self-improvement. I see. These constructs can build even more powerful copies of themselves autonomously, growing their potential with each generation. The path to true artificial intelligence is clear. Yes, that definitely makes sense. So, advancement. Machines transform 3 more singularity societies for final tech. I see. That's how it works. Machines transform themselves to take on tasks such as cleaning up the environment, building human habitation, and acting as caretakers for the elderly. Self-learning AI is able to process data and innovate faster than any human scientist. Breakthroughs in all fields of research happen almost daily. Adaptive robotic soldiers upgrade themselves after every conflict, soon evolving into the most deadly fighting force ever created by humans. We're going to go for the path of advancement here. Okay, so we need 3 more societies here, so everybody here counts, and I should have played that game a little bit differently before, now that I think more closely about it, but that's okay. I had no clue. The neo-humans. Okay. Hey there, Joe. Weren't you around the whole time? I thought you were around the whole time. Ah, you're finally done with work, I see. And it was, of course, definitely not Joe the other time, I remember. To make sense of the depressing and unfair world that the Maru live in, strange dark religion emerges. Pillars believe that God is a powerless ruler who is tasked to watch over hell. Oh, we had that one too before. You have something in common with the humanity. Massive injustice. No, we just go for a regular development. Okay, so we have to help these poor other societies here to get somewhere. Okay, now the game has a definite goal for me.
This is very personal.
Oh my god, thank you, Joe. And congratulations to your gift subs, water and voice quills. Happy to have you here, guys. Hope you enjoy the show.
Very personal.
So, we need to do something about their resource stockpiles. The Maru are too hungry. Ah, here we go. Oh, signals from space. Our singularity age humans are there. The quantum computers of a regular human true AI are picking up weak traces of a radio test signal from Gliese system. Oh, I see. Yeah, we had some lucky visit here. Ignorance, enthusiasm. The staff of the true AI are busy with other things, so the scrambled traces of a radio test signal are soon forgotten among the data stored in the quantum computers. Well, we're going to grow ignorant now. Yeah, we had some lucky ambush from the devs there. I feel flattered. Okay. We slowly get the Maru here forward, but I really am feeling bad for their development here. Oh, Neo-Human factions have a development event. Never gone away. Paradigm shift in Wormwood. A new artificial intelligence only existing in the planetary array net of the Wormwood system starts being worshipped like a prophet and is gaining a huge fellowship among the Neo-Humans. No. Cultural ascent. Cultural expansion. Cultural descent. The virtual prophet. The virtual prophet starts copying itself into many subroutines, each of them establishing their own church in 2 separate extraplanetary bases. Ooh. Under guidance of the artificial intelligence prophet, a faction of the new social structuralists and mass scientists rises fast. The artificial intelligence cult turns paranoid about unholy viruses and forms an army of magnetic rifle-wielding zealots that protects Wormwood from heretics. Oh, I like that. But, I mean, they already have insane war casualties. Let's go even further. I like that idea. So, humanity has gone strange ways. Okay. More science, but their resources are running out quite quickly. Another thing I would really appreciate would be a clock that depicts the passing of years. So Right now, we don't see how much time is actually passing, so the amount of years passing by, or the amount of years remaining before the catastrophe, before a resource crisis hits town, is hard to really get into perspective, basically. It's one thing I really noticed lately. The Dominions of Ash are sending their greatest ethic engineers to the most significant gathering of the current age. Will they challenge the accepted ideas of controlled movement? Will the outcome be progressive for the Ash civilization, or just insignificant? Okay. Dissent arises among the participants, but one remarkable ethic engineer uses the discussions about control movement to establish a foundation for better ethical values. This gathering is a milestone for the ethical development of the Ash civilization. The ideas and thoughts of the attending ethic engineers are spread over countless optical chips, reaching all of the Ash. Well, let's go for the regular development here. We had a clock off in the demo that showed. Yeah, that would be really cool. Just to put the passing of time into some meaningful perspective while I'm playing the game, that would be really good. Oh no, the number of lumber yards has plummeted. I think the Maru will run into resource crisis here. Yep, there we go. Scarcity crisis. Ore-veins are becoming scarce in the Tau Ceti system. The effects of innate consumption brought the Maru civilization to a breaking point. Yeah, we already had that event before, so we're not going to read it exactly. So, well, we can do precautionary measures quite cheap. So, yeah. So they have a little bit of a recline in people. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, they are a dystopic society anyways. We just need to tickle their population growth a little bit again. But at least they will hit the next age here soon. I'll take some dystopia points, if you ask me like that. Okay. Let's go industrial. So, wisdom is definitely not their path. We're going to pay for in the advancement way. So we have now resources for a couple of 100 years, and therefore they will be happy. You have no idea of what's happening? I'm gardening with galactic civilizations. I'm trying to make them hit singularity age before they go extinct. Sol is building spaceships. The humans make it their destiny to spread their civilization throughout the galaxy. Artificial intelligence pinpoint optimal expansion vectors, and androids construct a fleet of interstellar vessels in the Oort cloud of the Sol system. Yeah, that had to happen. That definitely had to happen. Epic project. The artificial intelligence pipeline is flawless and creates a massive amount of vessels. Yes. They will go for Tabby's star. Okay, let's get back to the Ash Dominions. They have a resource crisis. Yeah, I'm basically trying to... well, you're influencing the development of civilizations and you're watching them grow or go extinct or whatever. You get to take influence into the events, positively or negatively. If you let the events go negatively, you gain points which you can use to prevent negative events somewhere else. So, The true AIs of the human expansion armada are detecting unusual radio wave patterns. By chance, they find traces of a radio test signal sent out from the car civilization. The car civilization. They don't know that the car don't exist anymore. Hostility. Only fragments of the radio test signal can be decoded, and taken out of context, the car look quite disturbing. Let's do this. So the expansionists grow dystopian. I like that. Okay, so let's see if we can help the Ash. Synthesis points are running low. I need more before the resource scarcity turns into a crisis again. And honestly, I think we can't prevent that from turning into a crisis here. So, let's make the best out of it. Trying to grind up as many synthesis points as possible before the resource scarcity hits town. Oh, the neo-human factions. The masked scientists of neo-humans develop new plants that produce natural polymer capable of replacing the synthetic materials. Oh, wow. That sounds useful, guys. So, the use of natural polymers reduces the need for other minerals, but the new plants also invade the traditional nature form with prime and destroy local fauna. Okay, well, let's do this. They have now resources for several millennia, which is really good. Hey, new resources for the Ash. Lucky. But most of the time, this only lasts a very short time. And the display is not getting updated properly here when you get a new node sometimes. Oh yeah, resource consumption is slower if the population growth is reduced. Okay, so I have more than 60 points again. This is giving me a good feeling. More than 60 points are basically where I feel safe. So, the neo-human factions have reached the singularity age 2. Awesome. So you guys are striving for wisdom. You always were. One more singularity civilization. Wonderful. I think we can bring the Ash to that point quite easily. I hope, at least. Depopulation in Rigel. The Ash are creating highly attractive android models capable of satisfying every thinkable sexual appetite and being romantic substitutes for the lonely. Will the use of these love machines be the end of interpersonal relationships in the Rigel system? Okay. Prevention. Ash integrate the pleasure bots into their family structure as reproduction and childcare helpers. What? That sounds sick. Despite the minion-mandated bans on sex bots, many Ash satisfy their lust with black market models, and the population declines slowly. Well, since I don't want to spend points, I'm going to go for that outcome here. Yay! More resources! Awesome. So, looks like they aren't depleting their resources as quick as I thought. And Lightspeed Age. Who would have thought that the furry fish would make it this far? Yeah, let's choose the advancement path. This will change the resource problems substantially, and I think I'm on a pretty good way now to get into the end of the session. Alright, I'm going to strive for that, and that's going to be the end of today's stream then. Unless this won't be the end of the game, then I don't know. So the human expansion armada have arrived at Tabby Star. So personnel determines that the polar regions of Tabby Star Prime are protected by Arctic ice. They propose starting a royal branch there to observe local life forms. Let's do this. Alright. They look like they are on a really good way. So, signals from space at Tabby Star. The Ash civilization. Oh yeah. The human polar ice branch are picking up a transmission that did not originate from Earth, their home planet. The leaders of the humans must decide whether they should spread the communication signal from the Ash civilization among their colonial scientists. Well, we're going to spread that news. Or wait a sec, they are dystopian. So... no. Well, resources exhausted in 1 year? You guys need enthusiasm. Because you're running into a resource crisis. Maru nations. Extinction in Tau Ceti. The factories of the Maru need to burn toxic materials to produce energy. The long-term effects of the poisonous industrial smoke are unknown. Waste materials will enter the food chain and risk contaminating the whole population. Well, honestly, let's do this. Tau Ceti 3 gets filled with factories, and even after fast rising mortality rates, more highly toxic materials are burned. The global water supply is completely contaminated, and the entire Maru population perishes. I need some synthesis points. Bye. I think that was a really worthy end of a highly dystopic society. These guys have no more resources, they need help. Well, let's see. With the synthesis points I have, yeah, we lost the Maru. But it is to help the humans here, because Tabby's star is running out of resources. Yeah. And they were really far away from getting to the next point. So, let's see. Let's see. Carnage in Tabby's star. Planetary resource fields are exhausted and the humans fight each other viciously with sentient guns while the research branch faults dissolves. All polar colonists on Tabby's star are doomed to die as exploration vehicles move towards the ultimate battle and the human colonial bases drown in blood. Ugh. That's why I saved some points. Blooming nature. Total destruction. So... this sounds like I don't really have any choice. That's not cool. I lost my third civilization to no. Now we need to colonize somewhere else to make the dream happen. So sometimes resource scarcities just kill your society, and you can't do anything about that. Well. Now we need to colonize somewhere else, but that should be doable after all. So these guys are working with gas giants. Great War threatens Sol. Advanced artificial intelligences are growing more involved in the political and economic decisions making of the Sol system. Some factions of the human scholar networks push for harder regulations of AI at all costs. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's something which is expectable. Ironically, the artificial intelligences involved push themselves for strong technical regulations and strict human oversight to prevent a system-wide military escalation. It is unclear if the AI are trying to ensure the survival of the human creators or their own. Factions without sophisticated AI support have no chance in this interplanetary conflict. Their habitats are overrun by AI-backed space fortresses, and many humans do not survive the AI wars. We go for peace. Okay, so I'm gonna say goodnight here because this takes definitely longer than I thought. Now that the fourth civilization that I had in mind is has run extinct. Thank you guys all for watching, and thank you for the good time. We'll finish this session another time. Yeah, you're welcome. I enjoy streaming this game a lot myself too. We'll have to finish this session another time. I hope I will be able to, but I guess at some point these civilizations will try to colonize somewhere else. Anywho, have a good time. Thanks for watching, everybody, and see you soon. Good night.